In this video, we'll discuss about another important property that prototype syntax of class allows us, that we can use to our advantage in a lot of places. So it's very useful. This kind of pattern is very useful in defining chaining functions. Like, let's say you have some value, you start with some value, you have options to perform several steps on it, and they need not be in the same order, so you can chain those steps one after another. Let's say you went in a car wash, for example. So in the car wash, first you wash the car, and then you maybe paint the car, and then you maybe like do something else, and then you are done, like at the end. So that's like a chaining of methods one after another. So you won't paint the car before washing the car, or vice versa, right? Like, you can do it if you want to, but yeah, that's what. So you're open to all the options, and you have the functionality to chain things one after another without doing much of an hassle, right? So I just wanted to demonstrate that here. How would you use this syntax to do something like that? So let's do class maybe car wash. We take the same example that we took there. We have a constructor, we do name, we do this dot car name equals to maybe name, and then we have paint, we do this dot car name equals to plus equals to, we'll append something to it, we give a space, and we add painted. Cool. And then we have another wash. Oh, it's suggesting me something nice. This dot car name plus equal to space washed. Cool. That's all. Now we have this whole thing, car wash. We have a constructor, we need to pass the car name there. We have paint, we have wash. So they need not be in order, but we can sort of like execute them in any way we want. So at the last we have maybe get done. So done function is there. Then we return, let's say, this dot car name or something, right? So basically what we do is we do perform the activities, and we get the final output of it. You can have a simpler example or anything like a calculator. Let's say you perform the operations in a sequence, add, subtract, and so on. So like, you can sort of take those examples as well, but this is the one I chose to go with, so it doesn't matter. So let's see, we have car wash, and then we have constructor, we have paint, wash, done. That's all, right? So we do this const car equals to new car, we do BMW, and then we do console.log. We chain one method after another, right? So we do car dot wash dot paint dot done. So this is the chaining of methods. So you can see we chained one thing after another, so it's open to however we want. So we can sequence them in a reverse manner as well. If we like have some other methods, then we can do those as well. Oh, I forgot to return this. We have to return this here, so that we can chain more things on top of it, right? So there's this keyword inside the car wash allows us to do something like this, which is a nice pun, but yeah, whatever. So let's run this. Oh, car wash, my bad. It's not saving or what? Yeah. So we get it in this sequence: BMW, washed, painted. So since we did put wash initially, we put paint later. That's why you get this. Like, this is very useful in use cases like, let's say you have let's say you need some kind of timestamps in different forms, right? So you have a given form and you need a timestamp in some other form. So these are useful in those kind of cases. So let's say you have an like time format that's followed in India, or a separate timestamp, or whatever else, like you need to convert everything to UTC or something. So you can sort of have a converter method, not general, I mean, you can have different converter methods defined for different formats, which will sort of make it to a unified format. Let's say timestamp or date, I mean the timestamp thing is unified for all, and then you can just convert it to UTC. So you can do something like, let's say console.log time.convert some IST to timestamp, maybe, I don't know. Then you can directly do get UTC. So these kind of things are very handy with this thing, right? So you can use chaining methods in these kind of use cases a lot. So it's even useful in data manipulation kind of things. So let's say you get data from multiple sources, and then you have to parse them in a single format, and then you have to store them somewhere, right? So there are multiple functions converging at a point, and it's going in a like different directions. So it's kind of forming a chain, if you can sort of visualize. So let's say there is data coming from data source X, get data from X, and then like we convert that and convert, maybe we can do something like this, and then store in DB. So it consumes data in a given format. So we can have different chaining methods based on different data sources from where data comes from, and then we can simply do this. Like let's say XYZ are 3 data sources, we get data from all of them, we convert, and we store it in DB, and we would just need 4 functions for those and a general purpose function, and we can sort of implement it in this kind of class, right? So we can just have a class defined for these particular use cases, and then we can just do this. We can chain one thing after another. We can also put anything else that we want in between. So that's up to you. So yeah, that's what that's what method chaining looks like. So you can sort of implement it in any way you want. So another good use case is you can have converging chains, like diverging chains as well, just for an example. So let's say we have done, and like this is done, then instead of this we could have also done something like what to say, how do I explain this? So yeah, so basically what I want to explain is, let's say car.wash, it gives us one single object. We can take that and let's say copy it and pass it through 2 different chain functions as well. Those are sort of patterns that you will sort of realize eventually, but yeah, those also you can use it in any kind of way that you want. Chains can be converging, chains can be diverging, whatever, right? So diverging chains are sort of like broadcasting thing, so it's the opposite of what we discussed here. So like here, let's say you get data from some source and you store it in DB. It can also be the opposite, right? So we can do something like not store it in DB. Let's assume send data to X or something, right? And we do get data. We get data in a single format, and we do send data to X. So send data to X, convert and send data to X. So X, let's say accepts data in some format, so we do this, and we can do something similar for, let's say, X, Y. We can do Z and whatnot. So it's a diverging chain kind of a thing. So you get the data from a source, and that data is converted to different formats, and it's diverging. So these are sort of patterns that you would see with chaining methods, and that you could use to make things easier for you, right? So yeah, I mean that should be it for this video. So I just wanted to cover this particular use case, since I also use this a lot. So this is very useful in many use cases. You can also adopt it and use it wherever you need it, right? So yeah, I think it's a pretty good advantage of the classes and over the prototypes that we have in JavaScript. So yeah, you can do this pretty well there. So yeah, I think that should be it for this video. If you liked it, share it with your friends, drop a like, leave some feedbacks if you have any, or if you want me to make videos on something else, I'm open to suggestions. You can, of course, give it away. Yeah, see you folks. Bye. Have a good day.